Hey folks, here I am to do another, it's a week update of what I've done. If you notice right here, this is going to be the new color of the bus. It's a almost match the sealant I put on there. Right there, so that's going to be the new color. Hopefully I'll start painting that this week. And let's continue on. So here's some of the other stuff I've done. I painted the battery box right here. Battery box cover. I need to put a new lens in there though, or a new latching mechanism. I need to replace that piece right there because it's not far enough out. So I'm going to take that off and put a piece of angle iron in. Alright, a couple of the things I did. I'm putting hinges on the bottom of these wire chases. Now I've got all the wire chases in now. That one's going to run down and it's going to go into that, those wires there are going to go into that DC breaker, I guess, or fuse box. This is going to move to back there underneath the bed. So that, and this will stay right where it's at, this piece right here. I'll just chop the wood off right there. The reason is this is going to be my seat or my couch, and I want to have that flush to the, or want that off the wall so I have more room to sit back. Battery's going to go right here. Had some water leaks. I don't know if I told you before, but there was 2 water leaks back there, and I think I fixed them. They were coming through the screw holes from the rub rail. I had a water leak in the window, so I sealed the outside of the window, both the outside of the seal and the inside of the seal where the glass hits it. Excuse me. So that's done. I just got to do some. I'm doing 1 inch wide, or even ½ inch wide strips around the corner there and over there. Another thing I did was I brought my countertop out with the sink in it, alright, so that I can get measurements, because that's where the shower base, shower and bathroom base, toilet base, whatever. That's the drain hole for the shower, and this is what the room I need in order to put that in, and then this will bolt up to the side of that. And then I had to build me a rack, metal rack, for under the water tank, because it's only going to sit halfway on the wheel well, and then so it's got to go slide further to the left, and then that rack will slide further to the left also. Somewhere in there I got to figure out a place to put the water pump. But I'm going to have a drawer here, a drawer there, full depth. Down here I'll probably have just a drop down cabinet door. So that way I can use storage underneath there, and I'll use all the storage I can. And then decided on my upper storage, my airline storage bins will start on the top of here and just come out to right here, so I have a mount, someplace to mount it near the center. And as you can see, I'm kind of short, so or well, not see, but I'm telling you, I'm 5'3", so this is not going to bother me too much. Matter of fact, the counter, this sink counter here, sticks out further than the airline bends, so I shouldn't have a problem with that. I'll have storage. Probably, I'm not sure if I'm going to have it all the way up or just to the edge of the door right there. But it'll be go all the way back also. Let's see here. What else is there? Oh, I put a, this is kind of rigged up right now. I'm not sure if I'll stay with it or not. It's actually working pretty good. But I did that there so that I could pull the closure closed, the door here closed when I'm not using the AC or when I'm driving down the highway even. We'll see how that works out. So this is how this is going to work out. It's just going to be probably 2, maybe 3 screws holding it up in place. Then the hinges, what I'm going to do with these hinges on the bottom side, because you can't see the mounts on the bottom, but you can see them on the front. So what I'll probably do is take the screws back out, flip this up to the bottom side, and scrape it up so that glue will stick to it, and then glue it back down or screw it back down, and then the next morning I'll take the screws out and see how well it holds. That way you won't see the screws coming through anymore. And maybe I'll try and do something with these holes. Not sure yet. Oh, and let me show you my jump seat. This is my jump seat right here. My passenger seat. It won't always be in there, but I've got to figure out a way. It just drops it down into that little hole right there. Don't know if you can see that. Down that hole. Just like that. It's sitting a little low right now, so I'm going to probably raise it up some. And I'm either going to move this thing here to the front so that it lines up better with my floor, the drop-in floor that I'm putting in right here, that I've put in already. It's just out right now. So I either move this to here and then weld a brace in, or the other way I'm thinking about doing it is taking this weld out and welding a hinge to the bottom side of this, and then welding that hinge also to the flat surface of this pipe down here, right there. And that way I can and then have a pin, a hinge, another hinge, or a hinge pin, or whatever you want to call it. Weld something in the front that I could stick a pin through and hold it forward. That way I can tilt this thing back and drop the false floor down. Really, I think that's about it. The herringbone is coming along. It's taking a long time to sand with that orbital sander. But I mean, you know, if it's gonna, you know, if you want something to look nice, you got to take the time on it. I've made a rack like this one here. I made a rack for this side that goes right to the edge here. I'm gonna have to angle it, the angle of the leg on it, and then it goes all the way to the end there, and then it comes out about 4 inches from the edge here. And what I'll do is it's going to be, I think I figured out it's going to be 19 inches tall, and then I'm going to have a board on top that hinges up, so I can use underneath for storage. But I may, and then it's going to have 4 inches of foam, and this can be a couch or whatever here. But I haven't decided completely on that yet. Let me show you the rack that I made for that. And here's my seat. Swivels nicely. So there's my rack for the other wheel well. And I'll probably have to put a leg in the center also, and a brace in the center. But this here is going to be, as I'm going to put an extension on that post for the jump seat. I'm going to put an extension on it because it sits a little too low. I don't like how low it is. It doesn't have to go up too much, probably maybe another 3 or 4 inches. I'll just weld that in place and figure something out. I might weld a hinge pin to it or something, so I may not necessarily put that hinge plate on the bottom of the seat, bottom of the base. Well, I may not necessarily put the hinge right here. I might put it somewhere in here where I add the pipe, because that way I wouldn't have to take that apart, wouldn't have to cut that out. If I cut it right here or somewhere along in there and added that pipe that I showed you, I could add the hinge in there and I wouldn't have to weld, wouldn't have to mess with too much on that. So that's what I'm looking at doing. Even with the cushion on it, it doesn't bring it nearly as high as that one, but that one is 1.5 inches taller. So I'd like to get it as close to that one as possible. But if it gets that high, people may not be able to put their feet on the ground. But I'm short, so I'm not doing it for me, for my height. I'm doing it for other people's heights. Might even put me a removable footrest on it. I don't know, just all kinds of things I could do with it. Do to it or do with it. But I just wanted to show you what was going on. And so I'm really close to starting the build. See if I got, there's better light. Really close to starting the build, the inside of the build. These lights here, these LED lights, light strip, is going to be either on the bottom of this thing here, probably be on the bottom because the cabinet's going on top of here, so it has to go on the bottom. But it'll be like down lighting, so it won't be direct lighting. I may do that pretty soon. I'm not sure yet. I gotta wait. I gotta make sure I'm done with these things here first. Here's my cables for my solar panels. Here's two. This is. See, how would I say this? This is two. There's 2 solar panels on this one and 2 solar panels on this one. They'll be paralleled up on top. And then I have that one coming in, which goes to the back bumper. That's where the connection is at. So it'll connect from my trailer. I'll have 2 on my trailer. And let me show you the solar panels on top. I got them finally installed Friday. Stubby, over here. So, there you go, guys. There's my solar panels finally installed. I put on all the outside, all the outsides. I put hinges on them, so that way if I needed to work on them. One other thing I forgot to mention is I'm building me a panel for right here. It's going to go from about probably about there to over there, It's going to be 8 inches tall, about 36 inches wide. And I'm going to put some of this stuff on the back side of this picture I'm going to show you right here. So that way it stands out from the wall and I can have wires inside there. It's going to have my let's see what my inverter display here somewhere, and it's going to have, then another one's going to be my solar charge controllers, solar charge controllers, the display for that. And then a friend of mine made me or built me or coded me a control for just about all the lights and everything in the bus. Just a matter of what I want to hook up to it, and it'd be voice activated. It's a Pi computer. So anyhow, it'll go somewhere in here also, and I can track what I'm using. It even hooks into my water system, so it knows how much water I have left. Yada yada yada. But it's going to mount up right here, right above the door, and underneath this thing here. Now I'm going to show you the panel I'm talking about that I'm going to mount all these displays in. So anyhow, here's the panel I'm making. Again, it's made from Eastern red cedar, and it's more right now. It's longer than it's 4 foot long. I just put glaze coat on it, so it's be ready to do something with tomorrow, unless I gotta sand it back down and refinish it. But that's what I'm gonna put all the displays in. I appreciate you tuning in, watching, and please subscribe. Hit that button next to the subscribe button, and like or dislike, and share. Thanks for watching.